Shalom. This is Nizama Shahamadabar Yasharal on my channel, Nizama the Hebrew Mystic Healer. Before I get started with part 2, I would like to go ahead and show some love to my 3D kin, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites scattered to the 4 corners of this third dimensional earth plane of existence. Much love and shalom to you. I'd also like to show some love to my cosmic kin, scattered to the 12 dimensions of this universal cosmic egg matrix. Much love and shalom to you as well. And as always, show some appreciation to my viewers, especially those of you who are subscribed. If you're not yet subscribed, please do so now. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. So I want to go ahead and jump right into part 2 of my video where I was discussing my Sirian Annunaki ancestry and the information that I was channeling from that particular cosmic blueprint or that particular soul aspect. So I just want to jump right in so I can finish this video series and go ahead and explain where I was going with this. So in my last video I left off with the draconian DNA mixing with the Annunaki. So as I had already mentioned, there was genetic mixing that was done and actual genetic modification. And so the royals of Draco, or the more original indigenous Draconians, tend to look, some of them look really similar to the Nibiru, where they look like serpents with wings, but others look more like the more oriental looking or the more eastern looking Ling dragons, and others look more like the more western looking dragons and tend to be bipedal, and they have the wings. These are more true to the original draconic races, but the majority of draconians that are out there at this point in time have been severely hybridized. And these actually, from what my Sirian ancestors say, they actually look more like trolls or like orcs. They have like the protruding sharp teeth that come up, out from under their lower lip. They're bald. They have scaly skin. It can sometimes look almost like crocodile-like, less like a serpent. They tend to be stocky. Some of them are really tall. Some of them are really small. But these would be like an example of a draconian hybrid that may have some other types of DNA in them, but they don't resemble the more pure draconic lineage. And that these are actually more common, even more common than the more reptilian or lizard-like looking ones that are depicted, by David Icke and conspiracy theorists and certain abductees. So that was one thing they wanted me to know, and I thought that was really interesting. And I quickly thought about Lord of the Rings. I thought about the orcs. I thought about the movie, I think it's called Brightburn with Will Smith, and it shows orcs in there. And I started thinking about this. There's also a channel out there by a Sirian starseed who says he's Annunaki starseed, and him and I have some differences on our views, but we also have a lot of overlaps. And I was quickly reminded that he was talking about orcs and the orc lineages and how they were hybridized and things like that, and that they were created by the Annunaki. So I thought that was really interesting. So all of this kind of tying in together made more sense to me, and also explains why you see these types of beings being depicted, in history. So I thought that was interesting. And so basically my Sirian Annunaki ancestors were really talking about the different types of hybridization that occurred within the Annunaki lineage. This could be known as the Nephilim, for example. When the Annunaki came down and they started mixing with the root races and other beings that were down here, it started creating all these hybridized lines. And so sometimes these would look like giant people. Sometimes they would look like, part animal, part human. Sometimes they would look more reptilian or serpentine, or they might have like a bird head. All different types of hybridizations were occurring. And not just with the root races down here with the Annunaki, but also with the other star races as well, along with the root races. And also certain root races themselves resembled, like different statures and different forms. So there's definitely a lot going on there. And that was really what was shown to me, that my particular Sirian ancestors definitely looked like they were not in the full original form of their ancestors, of my ancestors, and also my, original emanation, and my other family's original emanation out of the void as the feathered serpent dragon, as the primordial Nibiru. So that was interesting, and I could then see and kind of piece together in my mind, okay, that explains a lot of this. And again, just to reiterate, not all, Sirians and Orions and Draconians and Lyrans or Serpents or Hydrons, not all of them are from Annunaki bloodlines. Not all of them have Annunaki admixture within their DNA. And so I just kind of wanted to make that clear, because that was also confirmed. And these weren't even questions that I was asking. A lot of this was just coming out. I was actually asking more so personal questions about my specific past life incarnation, but it felt like my ancestors really wanted to share more on the genetic aspect, more on their interactions with the fifth root race, aka, the majority of the current humans down here. Wanted to really reach out to me and share that familial love and connection. And so it went a different direction than I was really expecting. And again, just a general, more playful, emotional energy, and wanting to really show me that there's a lot that's been written about the Annunaki that's wrong, and that this was mostly due to certain Annunaki lineages and families that were really feuding against the other families, and that some of the families cared more about power and wanting to, control on earth and be considered gods. And, them and the greedy dark priesthood working together side by side. And also along with a lot of archonic influence as well, that there was just a lot going on that caused the separation of wisdom and information to be separated and withheld, and to be sent to different, corners of the world, so that nobody had all the right information or answers, and this dark priesthood still exists. They wanted me to know that they had to leave to deal with other realms of existence, to address other things as creator gods, and that they are coming back, and some of them are already back, and that there are cycles and of renewal that are coming. And they definitely are big proponents of understanding the cycle of creation, destruction, and how what once was will be again, and understanding that whole cycle and balance. But that was basically, in a nutshell, what they were sharing with me was, how I looked in that incarnation. What that particular lineage was, the Sirian lineage was that I belonged to, like how they appeared, the types of races they're connected to and interacted with. Again, specifically the lineage I was from within the Annunaki line in Sirius, specifically, not the other areas I'm connected to. And they really wanted to just share with me how they do feel that love and connection and investment with the races that they were connected to, because they're their descendants. We are our ancestors, as I'm always saying on my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I was sharing, and I may do a part 3 in the future if my Sirian and Annunaki ancestors have anything else they want to share that I feel would be beneficial or relevant. Obviously, I don't share everything that I receive when I'm channeling or when I'm journeying. I get a lot of information, and I sift through it, and I use it for my own personal growth. But I had felt, after looking at the poll that I gave you guys, even though not very many people participated, those who did seemed to really want to hear more about personal experiences that I was having. And another large part of the population that did the poll wanted to hear more from soul group channeling. And so this is really a mixture of both, because the Sirian and Annunaki ancestors are part of my soul blueprint, and it's also me sharing a personal experience, and it also ties back around to the Hebrew or the Nibiru and their celestial connections, which is something that a lot of other people really wanted to hear more about as well. And so again, this was just one particular lineage. This is not representative of every Annunaki bloodline or every Annunaki family tie. And so I just kind of wanted to make that clear, because as I said, I have other Annunaki ancestors within my cosmic blueprint that are from other constellations or that are from other familial branches. So this is just one aspect of my multidimensional soul, cosmic tree. So I wanted to make that clear. So if it resonates, awesome. Maybe there are some Annunaki starseeds on my channel, and maybe this is really going to help them connect some dots within their own ancestry, within their own, shamanic journeying or past life regression. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more videos. Take care, and shalom.